Hello, welcome back to Latex Free Living. Today I have a special guest, my wife, Becky.
Hi.
So we're just going to talk to her and kind of see her experience and living with this allergy and kind of firsthand personal accounts and experience and kind of tips and things that she does to help address this condition and living with it and things like that. Before we start, again, please like, subscribe, and share, and turn that notification bell on. All
All
right.
right. Anyway, I wanted to come in and introduce myself since you keep talking about me online. Share my experience and what I've been through since I was diagnosed with latex. I'm trying to get some more awareness on the allergy because it is very severe.
None of this is medical advice. If you do have questions, seek medical advice from your doctor.
Absolutely.
Or primary care physician. This
Yeah.
is not medical advice at all.
I'm not an expert at latex at all, but I have been living with it for a while and I've learned a lot along the way. So I'm just going to share my experience. Hopefully, some of you relate. We can all share our stories and what to do and how to move forward. So I was diagnosed in 2019. It's 2023 now. So it's only been a few years for me, but I have had this allergy my whole life, pretty much. Didn't know why or what was wrong with me most of the time.
Didn't know the cause.
I didn't know the cause early on, yeah. I would have a lot of issues with food and eating, and nobody could tell me what was going on. I've been to every kind of doctor I could think of, and nobody really knew what was happening. I found this allergist in 2019, and when I first went to the doctor, he asked me numerous questions, and he diagnosed me on the questions that he asked me. He asked me, do you react to Band-Aids? And I do. I have. I would get a cut, they put a Band-Aid on me, and each side would be worse than the actual cut after I wore it for a few hours. Did you ever have braces? That was one of his first questions. And I was like, yeah, I had braces for 3 years. And he said, oh, okay. He said, his next question was, did food change for you after you had the braces? Thinking back, and I'm like, yeah, before I had braces, I could eat anything. Right. And I was fine. And that was a major thing for him. He said, you had latex rubber bands in your mouth for 3 years. So that probably started this because it was just your body couldn't keep up with getting that latex out of your system because constant, it was constant exposure. Yeah. It was in my mouth. I was swallowing it. It was just there. It was there. So he thinks that that was kind of the beginning of my latex allergy. And I was in 3rd grade when I got braces. So how old is that? 8, 9?
And back then, even today, latex allergies aren't really known widely known, or people don't really think of it as far as people like, oh, are you allergic to peanuts and things like that, but no one ever asked or concerned or worried about a latex allergy.
Right.
Every time you say it or say something about it, they're like, wait, what? Some people don't even know that's a thing.
Right. So the doctor thought that that's where my latex allergy kind of started, was after the braces. I noticed I had trouble. The first thing I couldn't really eat was like citrus oranges. It would bother me when I used to be fine with that. And over the years, it just seemed to get worse. I have a lot of issues with different foods, and we'll do that could be a whole video on that.
We'll address that later.
So the doctor asked me if I liked Gatorade, and I was like, no, I hate Gatorade. I can't ever drink Gatorade. And he said, there's latex in that.
Right.
He asked me, what about avocados? I have never been able to eat avocados. And he said, that's latex related as well. And there were just a lot of little things that I had no idea could even be an issue.
Because when he first said, "Oh, I think you have a latex allergy," my reaction is, "Well, that won't be a big deal."
I don't run into rubber gloves very often.
Right.
Like that was my first thought.
Yeah.
Like rubber gloves, I see those once in a while.
But the more research I did, there's latex in so many different things. I didn't know most of my life that I had this allergy, so I just kept making it worse without realizing.
The clothing was a big
Clothing.
deal for me when I finally started taking all the elastic out of my closet and not putting the latex directly on my body.
That made a huge difference for me. I kind of started, I went through like this.
Detox period where like all of a sudden my mouth tasted like balloons. And after a couple weeks after getting the allergy medication and the clothing fixed,
All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, my mouth tastes like balloons. What is this? This is so strange." But
it seemed to make a big difference. When I started getting it out of my system, I was then able to recognize it. And
it's not a good way to test for latex, but I can touch something and I can tell if it has latex in it.
because of the way it burns my hands, and they tell you not to do that.
Sometimes
Stuff that
it
says,
happens.
I mean, you always have to figure it out for yourself. Unfortunately, some things say latex free, and she gets it and tries it, and it's not.
It's not.
There's something in
Yeah.
the manufacturing, something in the elastic or the band that has latex or latex contaminate in it, and so that's why she has to test everything pretty much before
Yeah.
she wears it.
I had a sleep number bed, and I found that contains latex. I slept in a bed with latex for years, didn't know. I used to work at a party store, and I used to make balloon animals. So I had a lot of latex exposure, and I was making myself sick, and I didn't know at the time. And so I am airborne allergic at this point in my life, unfortunately. I didn't find out about the latex allergy until I was airborne allergic.
And sadly, latex allergy is not like another allergy where you can get progressively exposed to it and your body
Yeah.
kind of gets used to it. Fortunately,
is
the
a-
more you're exposed, the worse you get.
Yeah, they call this a progressive allergy, which probably most of you already know. But the more you're exposed, the worse the allergy becomes until the point that you're anaphylactic. And so I am desperately trying not to get to that point
Yeah.
at this time. So I'm avoiding latex every chance I can, basically.
It's a rough it's a rough allergy. If you have a latex allergy, I am sorry that you're going through this because it's hard. It's hard to avoid.
I'd say it's almost impossible to avoid completely. I mean, unless you're going to be a hermit
And completely stay in your house. But that's why I carry EpiPens
and
And a mask. You
and a
gotta kind of,
mask.
if you're in a couple or relationship, like I go into places if we've never been there, look for balloons, ask if
Yeah.
there's balloons here, because balloons are the most dangerous with for people with latex allergies.
Balloons are kryptonite for me.
I'm anywhere with balloons, I immediately have a reaction, and it's
not
pretty
good.
severe and it lasts for days.
So
And we can go deeper in another video about how and why balloons are so dangerous for latex sufferers.
for anybody with a latex allergy, definitely, if you see a balloon, you need to leave immediately. Don't mess around with balloons because they will definitely increase your allergy. I wish I had taken that a little more seriously in the beginning because I did not realize how dangerous balloons are. I will break out in a rash. I will turn red all over my arms, and it's like a burning, itching pain at the same time. And I always know that it's a latex reaction because
and she can have it taste it in her mouth like she ate a balloon.
Yes, I'll be like, oh, I taste it. It's in my mouth. I taste balloons.
But the main one is if she's getting red, like in the chest or the arms or the face, that's usually a telltale sign that she's having a reaction to something.
It
and
usually starts in my in my throat and then
goes to
my
your
arms
arms.
for some reason, but I'm sure that's different for other people too.
Then she still wears a mask sometimes in case there were balloons previously.
Yes,
she could still react.
I have a VOG mask that I highly recommend. It's supposed to keep the latex particles out and let you breathe latex-free air.
There's a lot of topics we will cover throughout this course of this channel to just spread awareness and help you guys get that information out there. So,
as latex-free living survivors, we need more footage like this.
And again, by all means, this is not medical advice. Please reach out to your doctor and talk to a professional if you have any of these symptoms or think you're experiencing any of these symptoms. This is just personal experience and what my wife's been through and kind of her journey through this whole process. So again, seek medical professionals for an official diagnosis.
Anyway, thanks for following us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And again, like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day.